Continuous praise to the Most High God, King of heaven and earth, even the God of our forefathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Yitzchak, and the God of Israel. To him and to him alone are all due praises. We thank everyone for joining us this afternoon. We are Congregation Shomray Hab'reet, brothers and sisters, and we are the keepers of the covenant. And we're going to start right away this afternoon because we got a lot of things lined up. So can everyone please rise and face the east? Hallelujah. Yehovah God, God of the heavens, the God of our forefathers, even the God of Abraham, the God of Yitzchak, and the God of Israel. We come before you in this afternoon to continue to give thanks and praise unto you, to continue, Yehovah God, to praise and glorify your most high and your most holy name. And Yehovah God, as we come before you in this evening service, we ask, Yehovah God, that you even come amongst us and you bring amongst us even knowledge, bring amongst us wisdom, bring amongst us understanding. Give us a heart to discern, give us ears to hear and eyes to see. Have it to be, God, that we might understand the things that we need to do to get better before you and be found acceptable before you. Even as we approach our season of Chag Matzot, even as we approach the season of Pesach, and as we do it in captivity, Yehovah God, we ask that you cause us to understand all the things that we need to do that's associated with the day. We ask, Yehovah God, that as you bless us, that, Yehovah God, we would prayerfully correct the things that we may have done wrong last year, and that all the things that we've done right, we would continue to walk in them. I ask, Yehovah God, that you bless us in such a way that you will cause us to understand the English as well as the Hebrew. Bless us, Yehovah God, to return unto our language. Give us a pure language once again. Put within us, Yehovah God, the desire and the discipline to learn the language of our forefathers in order that we might understand Torah. I ask, Yehovah God, that you bless this people with all the desires of their mind. Those who are desiring to have a child, bless them, Yehovah God. Those women who are pregnant with child, those families, Yehovah God, who are expecting a child. Bless that child from the womb, Yehovah God, I pray, and have it to be that that child will grow and be healthy and be strong, Yehovah God, to come forth and praise and glorify you. I ask, Yehovah God, that you be with those who are downtrodden in spirit, even uplift their spirit, Yehovah God, and cause them to know that you are the one that makes people happy, Yehovah God, by doing your laws, by doing your delight, Yehovah God, by understanding, Yehovah God, the judgments that you put forth for your people. And I also ask, Yehovah God, that you continue to unite us as a nation, bring us together, cause us to understand how to come together, cause us to understand that there's none like you in all the world. And I ask, Jehovah God, that even as you bless us, you would remind us to give you thanks for all things and for everything. We call upon you because we realize that you are God and God alone, and that beside you there's no other. All glory, all honor, and all praises unto your name now forevermore. Hallelujah. 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 Well, amen. Please be seated. Continuous praise to the Most High God, King of heaven and earth, even the God of our forefathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Yitzchak, and the God of Israel. Glad to see that Gavera Rukala is here. She's in the background for right now. She'll be with us in 1 second. And she will have for us the divine poetry, even of the afternoon. Brothers and sisters, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to talk about Chag Matzot, and, everything that we thought it was and everything that, people argue about and all those different things. And then we're going to talk about what Shomray Hab'reet does. We're going to do our question and answer period. And I believe there's about 1,000 questions that Akot Yakia has for us. Yes? No? 999? Maybe. Okay. That's one of those. And we're going to discuss some of those questions from this morning. And then the last thing we'll do is concerning Chag Matzot. And the reason why I'm saving Chag Matzot for last is because I know there's a lot of questions associated with Chag Matzot. How we do things and what exactly is Kamates and Komates and Matzot and So'or and all those other different things. So we'll discuss that some more. And then we'll close out for the day. So that being understood, I believe Gavera Rukama is here. Shabbat Shalom. Gavera Rukama, how are you?
Toda.
Oh, wait, I got to fix you into my speaker. Hold on.
Okay.
We're going to do that. Nope. We're going to do this. Okay. Gavera Rukama?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, there you go. All right. Nothing on your end, everything on this end here, We was
Okay.
playing the music during the break, so I had to turn the music down some. But
Oh, I
now that we
missed
got
it.
you
I
audible,
missed it.
it's okay. You'll be here for Cogmont, so we got it. We got it. All right. So wait a
Okay.
minute. Let me ask the question for Pesach. Do you got some specific poetry for Pesach? I'm just asking.
I do.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yes, I do. It's a personal, but I do.
Okay, well, let's see what you can do when you get here on Yom Shishi, right? And we'll
All
see what's
right.
happening that night. All right.
All right.
And
Okay.
if you're so inclined, you don't have to have it specifically geared for Cogmato. You could just have something that you feel is beneficial for
Yeah,
us
well,
as an audience.
that's what the poem is. The poem is something that I experienced during
Okay.
Pesach. Yeah, I was in a terrible accident
Oh,
involving four vehicles on my
mm,
way in. So
mm.
it's about some of that.
Understood. All right. We'll get there. We'll
Oh
get
yeah.
there. Um, want to say Shabbat Shalom to Akot Sota, to Queen Abishua, to Akot Asha, and to my brother Elgin. Brother Elgin, I got your message concerning the calendar. I will be reaching out to you soon. So just remember, I got your information concerning the calendar, and I will be reaching out to you soon. And I appreciate your email, my brother. May the Most High God continue to bless you. I'll get you that information. All right, let's move forward for the afternoon. So, please give honor and praise to the Most High God.
Oh praise, oh praise. Okay. All praise, giving honor, exaltation, and respect to the Most High
Mhm.
power of Abraham, Yishkak, and Yishrael. Thanking the Most High for life on this day and every day earth and humanity exists. Thanking Y'all
Amen.
for life. Thanking Y'all for blessings through the curses, for guidance through this Babylonian existence. Thanking Y'all
Mhm.
for health, water, food, clothing, and shelter, transportation, and so much more. But most of all, Toda Yah for you and your phenomenal existence. It's because of you that life is. All praises. Also, giving respect and appreciation to the founder of Shomray Hab'reet, keepers of the covenant, Moreh Yiftach Dan.
Amen. Bye-bye.
Bless his life and the life of his family. May the Most High continue to provide him with strength, courage, perseverance, and direction for his journey. I pray he reaches his spiritual
Amen.
goals and continual service to the Most High God and his people. Bless you.
Amen.
In
Bye-bye.
addition, I give recognition to the panelist, Gavert Yakia. Her spiritual growth has a positive effects on those of us who have to admit that her knowledge pertaining to the Torah has escalated. And she's doing a great job breaking down the portion of the week and how it resonates with her. It takes courage to reveal one's personal life to congregations and all the YouTube followers. It takes a gutsy person to admit their mistakes and share their downfalls. And it takes bravery to show your humility by crying to the Most High God in front of a world of judgmental people. Bless you, my sister. And a beautiful Shabbat Shalom to the elders, sisters, brothers, and Yeludim at the congregation and on virtual across the globe. I bid you all a glorious Shabbat Shalom. Most High bless. Can I be heard?
Absolutely. We hear you.
Oh,
Shabbat Shalom. I
oh,
got you.
all right. Hold on just a sec. All right. The name of this poem is the name of Rise and Shine. Okay. The Most High bless me to rise, to share and shine like the sun in the sky. Toda Yehovah for granting this new day, for giving me time to give you more props and praise. Another day for Yahweh's production. Let's minimize hate and destruction and maximize Jehovah's laws. Let's follow his instructions because the world is in dire need of Yah's interruption. Gots to push righteousness instead of holding on to spitefulness. Let's give Yah thanks for insightfulness, for without it, Israel is lost in an abyss of hit and miss. Yah's people don't walk around oblivious. Today, you pay when you're promiscuous. The new STDs are ridiculous. And the price for sexual immorality are babies born deformed and hideous. Just obey Jehovah's sexual laws. Don't become lascivious. I've got to reach for the heights with this. My purpose is fighting for righteousness. So I deliver with incisiveness. Sometimes truth is liberated by a right hand fist. Jehovah bless me to rise, to get to the root of infectious lies, deliver Yah's truth and unveil the disguise, because iniquitous acts defies the laws of the Most High. Gotta drop precious jewels on Yah's people. Free our mental temple from the lethal. Got to end this destructive sequel to fulfill the prophecy of Yah's chosen holy spokespeople. Yehovah bless me to rise, to share and shine like the sun in the sky. Yakai.
Amen. Amen.
All right.
Amen.
This next piece, I've been waiting to do for a while with drummers in the background. But I'm going to do this, like they say, a cappella without the drummers, because I really love the beat. So I can feel the beat in my head. And when I do it, I think that, y'all would be able to share that beat, feel that beat also. Okay. It's turn up the beat, my brothers, turn up the beats. Turn up the beats to the sky to penetrate the ears of the Most High, because the people are beginning to realize that there is one Creator, no power equalized. We're the children of great men who walked upright. We're the inheritors of the promised land called Israelites. Everybody knows our history. We didn't cherish our legacy. Instead, we hoard with deities and inflame Jehovah's jealousy. But Jehovah still extends his love when Israel is in jeopardy, because Jehovah is Israel's greatest and only defensive weaponry. So turn up those beats, my brothers. Turn up those beats. Turn up the beats to the sky to beam up our love to the Most High. Yakai, Yakai, Yakai. Let's beam up our love to the Most High. Yah's love is so awesome. It gives you pride. It makes you high. It makes you appreciate the power El Shaddai, because no one hears Israel's cries except Yehovah. His love for Father Abraham will never die. Yehovah wrote a manuscript for Israel's guide to teach us righteousness and how it's supplied. Yah gave us a day of atonement to save our hide, to repent for the laws we defied. Yah strengthen Israel's spirit to rid the demons inside. Yah heals our physical temple when we are near to die. Yah answers our prayers even when we lie. Yah will send rainstorms if the oceans run dry, and if the earth stop producing, Yah will feed us from the sky. So turn up those beats. Turn up those beats. Turn up the beats to the sky. Let's give some appreciation to the Most High. Yakai, Yakai, Yakai. Give some appreciation to the Most High. Yah hollowed the Shabbat for Israel to keep as a sign, commanded them to observe it throughout all time. Yehovah's Israel lifeline, Yah always provide. Yah cleanse us once again so you can dwell by our side. We're the only people on earth you reveal yourself to. So please gravitate to these heartfelt love beats. Your true witnesses are sending up to you. Israel, turn up those beats. Turn up those beats. Turn up those beats to the sky. Let's give our all to the Most High. Yakai.
Hallelujah. Amen. Yakai. So, I got one more for you. I want you to open up your book and I want you to read the 9th proverb, Proverbs chapter 9 for us.
My pleasure. Proverbs 9. Excuse. Here we go.
You got that poetry
Here we
going.
go.
All right.
Oh, yes. Can you put that up and make it large? Make the font kind of large.
The 9th proverb.
Proverbs 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us 1 second. We're gonna put it up on the screen.
Okay. Well, I can start if you want me to, but I need my mama's book. It has bigger print. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Understood. Yes. Just trying to enlarge it. Give us 1 second.
Okay.
Right there is good. Okay, Gavera Kama, you got it.
Oh, that's humongous.
Right there.
No, she can bring it down quite a bit. She can bring it because she won't be able to keep it. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
Great. But I got to get those skills.
This in HD, right?
I got to get those skills from you, my sister. All right. Proverbs chapter 9, verse 1. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out her 7 pillows. She has prepared her meat. She hath mingled her wine. She has also furnished her table. She hath set forth her maidens. She calleth upon the highest places of the city. 4. Whoso is thoughtless, let him turn in hither. As for him that lacketh understanding, she saith to him, Come, eat of my bread, and drink of the wine which I have mingled. Forsake all thoughtlessness, and live, and walk in the way of understanding. He that correcteth a scorner getteth to himself shame, and he that reproveth a wicked man, it becometh unto him a blot. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Reprove a wise man, and he will love thee. Give to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of all holy is understanding. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. If thou art wise for thyself, and if thou scorneth, thou alone shall bear it. The woman folly is riotous, she is thoughtless, and knoweth nothing. And she sitteth at the door of her house, on a seat in the high places of the city, to call to them that pass by, who go right on their ways. Whoso is thoughtless, let him turn in hither. And as for him that lacketh understanding, she saith to him, Stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the shades are there, that her guests are in the depths of the netherworld. Wow. Wow.
Any words?
And
if you don't, it's okay.
Yes, he's talking about, yeah, she's a whore. She's a whorish woman that she's a whore. She's a whore. It's talking about a whore, and yeah, how
Uh-huh.
how the men should be very careful, especially young men, of
Right.
women of that type of character. How it will
Um,
take them to their grave. It tells you how to be be careful. Use
mhm.
caution when it comes to a woman that that have those type of offers, because
Yeah.
it can only lead you to your grave.
Hmm.
It's like
Hmm.
making a good wife out of a whore.
Hmm. Hmm.
Some say it can be done, but can you keep her? Will she stay a great wife, or will she return to her old ways? But anyway, that's what I
Right.
got out of it. Keep your sons away from those type of women
Absolutely.
if you want
Absolutely.
to live.
Beware, right?
Yeah.
Move with wisdom. Just make sure you become wise. The fear of the Lord is what? The beginning of wisdom. Don't
Yes.
forget what it said earlier. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The Most High will allow you to see the type of people that are before you, but you have to make sure that you're in tune with the Most High. So I thank you for that, the variable comma, because I want us to make sure that we're keeping this 8th and 9th proverb in mind, because it's always telling us about wisdom, telling us about the way that we should move, and it's warning us, as the variable comma has told us, about the type of woman that is out there. And sisters, trust me when I tell you, warn your sons, let them know, make them aware. This is the type of woman that you want, and this is why. And also let's make sure that we don't allow certain types of behaviors to continue to go on within the nation. Amen.
Amen.
All right, let's get to knowledge and wisdom trivia time. Got about 21 questions, about 21. It'll seem like 999, but 21 questions concerning this morning's portion, concerning what was taught. Also, there were some people that had some questions in the chat this morning. We're going to address that. Makoa Asha, I think I seen her comment earlier. If you're still there, Koda Asha, we're going to address your question. My brother Nikemia, who comes on as Hint Magazine, he had a few questions. If you're there, my brother, we're going to answer your questions. And anybody else right now who has a question about this morning's portion, about Pesach and Kagmatos that's approaching and all that other stuff, now is the time to post your question. All right. So my first question is, before we get to the questions that's there, my first question is, how many days is the Feast of Unleavened Bread? 7?
7.
You agree with 7? Very comma?
7.
7. 7 days indeed. And what are the holy days during the feast? The first and the last day, or the first and the 7th day? So those, you got some people who observe the last day for 2 days, right? Yes. Oh, that happens. So just as a reminder, April 22nd is the day you need off of work for those of you who are scheduled to work on Friday. April 22nd is a holy day. April 21st when the sun goes down, and all day April 22nd. All right, those 2 days are holy days. All right, let's start with the questions. Question number 1. Ima Hab'reet, Shabbat Shalom. I see ya. What does Matzorah mean? Oh, we started off this morning like this, right?
Leprosy.
All right, everybody, we ain't gonna take too long on it. Leper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leprosy, all that good stuff. Okay, question number 2.
What was the Hebrew word for running water?
What is the Hebrew word for running water? Hebrew phrase for running water. 2 words there.
Mayim Kayim.
Mayim Kayim. Oh, Gaveret Rukama's on it. She is on it. Okay. Ma'am Kayam, running water. All right. Next question. I got our Hebrew going. Kosota got.
The Hebrew word for log.
What is the Hebrew word for log? That should be an easy one. Kaverta Mita says log, which she is correct. Prince Israel, Shabbat Shalom, that is Prince Kez. Why April 22nd? April 22nd is the seventh day of the feast. We acknowledged our new moon back on April 1st. Actually, March 31st, when the sun was going down all day April 1st. And so the 14th is 2 weeks later, right? So our holy day will be April 22nd for the seventh day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. All right? Let me show y'all this. So I want everybody if they can, to invest in a calendar. The calendar that I happen to have is the 150-year calendar. It tells us about the corresponding English and Hebrew dates, including the holy days, the Sidro, and the Haftorah. And so, it's the amazing thing about calculations that this book has never been wrong yet of when new moon falls. So when we look at our book, you definitely have to be aware of this book. Yeah, no problem, Prince Kez. He's saying he thought that we were saying it was the first day, but no, definitely the seventh day. Within our book, it will tell us, and there's a reason why I'm pulling out the book right now. Within our book, it will tell us the names of the months, even though some of the names we had to change. We'll get into that at a different time. So you may see Nisan on this calendar, but as I spoke this morning, Abib is our first month of the year. It shows us here that Pesach falls April 14th, April 15th, when the sun goes down. So as we're going into Shabbat next week and all day on Shabbat, that will be Pesach / the first day of Chag Matzot, right? And then it shows us that the following week, on the 20, I keep saying, no, I said it right. April 22nd, the 21st of Abib. Thursday, when the sun goes down, April 20th, all day, April 22nd. Am I saying this right? The 21st, when the sun goes down, all day, April 22nd, is the holy day. And then April 23rd, which is the Shabbat, is just the Shabbat, but it will be back-to-back holy days. So you got 48 hours of nothing but holiness, holding Shabbat the same way. I also want to let y'all know that on the 6th of Siwan will be our next feast day, and that will be on a Yom Rishon this year. So why are we talking about that? Because that's 2 times this year that we will have back-to-back holy days. Yom Shishi and Shabbat, and then Shabbat and Yom Rishon. Those dates are June 4th and June 5th. June 4th is the Shabbat. June 5th is the holy day.
That's
okay. Say it again.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, cool.
So June 5th, that will be it. All right. So just so we got our dates, hope everybody is writing this stuff down. I'll be reminding you periodically, but we have the times there. All right. 4th and the 5th. All right. So next question. Name the items the leper brought up for cleansing. Ooh, that's a hard question. What's some of the items the leper brought up? The Matzorah, right? What's some items? Anybody remember? All right, I'm going to give y'all a hint. I talked about it. Who?
Clay.
Clay?
Yeah, Clay. One of the items you said.
Was Clay?
And
Was it? Y'all gonna make me thing. Y'all gonna make me research now. Wait a second.
No, it's
Clay?
not Clay. It's not Clay.
Oh, okay. Well, we got Clay as an answer. Anything else? What did the leper have to bring up for cleansing? Remember, I talked about it extensively. And Yakia thought I seen her questions because she was like, "Oh, you did it." I taught about it extensively, so I'm going to give y'all a hint. I talked about it when I talked about Azazel, right? And I said it sounds real familiar, right? So what did the leper have to bring up for his cleansing? You're gonna wait for some answers online. Mordecai just doesn't want to give all the answers right now. He's like, I'm gonna keep y'all, I'm gonna keep y'all on your toes. Nothing from the chat. You got here. Queen, I'll be sure. Prince Kaz, Elgin Barrow, Destiny Smith, Shabbat Shalom, Cole Sotai. Oh, F. Maureen Allen. Here we go. Cedarwood, Hyssop, Scarlet, Yarn. 2 lambs. Ah, she has it. She in that book. Oh, how Joshua. Okay. 2 birds alive and clean, and cedarwood and scarlet and hyssop. So I think that's what F. Maureen Allen is saying when she says scarlet yarn. She's saying that's what it is. Elgin Barrow, 2 live clean birds, cedarwood. Kosotai, cedarwood, pigeon, and hyssop.
Yeah.
Cleansing. I just want to ask a question. Was it different for the male and the female?
Hey.
You didn't say stop. You said name the items the leper. I'm just asking. Listen, I told you about, I'm the advocate for the people here. Don't start confusing the people. 2 young pigeons. Queen Abby Sure. Oh, Coach Sotai says no. There's a difference between the male and the female. What book was I reading? Okay. All right. All right. What's the answer here? Answer: 2 living clean birds and cedarwood and scarlet yarn and hyssop. Leviticus 14:4. We gonna answer my question though? No? Later. Okay. We'll get back to it. Next question. True or false? One of the birds for cleansing was killed on the altar. Take the question down. Vessel running water, hyssop, and yes, women and men have different but similar cleansing. Interesting. So, Kodasha says true. F. Maureen Allen says true. Gavera Naama says true. Ak Elgin says true. Ak Joshua, false. Oh man. Kosotai, true. Got a lot of truths here. We got 2 falses. True or false, one of the birds for cleansing was killed on the altar. The answer is false. Leviticus 14:5. All right. Let's go over to Leviticus 14:5. See what we got happening over here. And the priest shall command to kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. All right. So not on the altar, but in what? An earthen vessel. Right? Leviticus 14:5. Okay, next question. How many times was the leper sprinkled? Oh, she got us counting again. How many times? What were they
7.
sprinkled with? 'Cause I remember that left hand and they was doing something, right? There was some rubbing going on, right? All that time, right? You got to remember the process. How many times was the leper sprinkled? Verbal comma says 7. Brother Misa says 7. Nicole Asha says 7. Brother Mordecai? 7. Joshua says 7. Kosota says 7. Queen Abby says 7. And the answer is 7. F. Maureen Allen is the sevens have it. Everybody unanimously said 7. Okay. Next question. Oh, y'all hitting all y'all box today. Let me find out. Question 5. True or false? After the leper is cleansed, he can go directly into his tent.
False.
False, false, false. Koyakia? No, don't put. Oh.
See, you're asking me.
All right. I'll hold down.
And the answer is
Okay, no problem. False. Well, I'll hold that one. False. Put the question up one more time. And I'll hold that one. After the leper is cleansed, he can go directly into his tent. That's false. What actually happens with the leper? What does he have to do? Stay outside for 7 days. Make sure everything is on the up and up, right? Then he goes. Okay, come on. Next question. Multiple choice. All right. Which item was not part of the leper's offerings? Multiple choice. So A, a log of oil. C, a calf. Excuse me. A log of oil. B, a calf. C, one unblemished ewe. D, fine flour mingled with oil. I'm just adding stuff in here. Fine flour. No, make the question, please. So Cole Elgin says D. Agree, F. Maureen Allen, you are absolutely right. Stays outside for 7 days. Multiple choice. Which item was not part of the leper's offering? Was it the log of oil? Was it the calf? Was it the unblemished ewe? Or was it the fine flour? Queen Abishua says D. Ako Asha says D. Y'all ain't even got to search too far today. Y'all had 2 chapters. I mean, it was a long chapter. First chapter was 54 verses, 57 verses. But y'all got 2 chapters. Anything about the leper is in chapter 14. So if you got your book, you should be able to research it quickly. Ooh. A code designee says B. Brother Joshua says B. A Kosotai says B. Ima Havared says D. So the D's were going strong for a minute. Now we got some B's in there, right? Queen Abishua says B. Facebook user, who you may be out in the land, says C. I mean, you even got a C in here. It means you were confusing the people. Whenever the people start giving all these different answers, you were confusing it. F. Maureen Allen says B. So the majority of people either say it's the calf or the fine flour. What wasn't part of the leper's offering?
I think it was B. The leper's offering.
May not be sure. I'm going to need you to put in the answer again. Did you say B21? Okay, very common. What's your answer?
B.
B. You say the calf wasn't a part of it. Mordecai, you got a guess?
B.
Elgin Barrow's changing his answer to B.
Just rolling back speed.
Okay. The answer is B, the calf, Leviticus 14:10. And when we go to Leviticus 14:10, it says, and on the 8th day, he shall take 2 he lambs, 1 ewe lamb of the first year without blemish, and 3/10 part of an ephah of fine flour for a meal offering, mingled with oil, and 1 log of oil. So therefore, the calf. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some people that start arguing about what a calf is, so we're not going to do that this afternoon, right? Answers B. Let's move on to the next question. 7, yes or no? Ooh, all right, she done switched it up on us. We had true or false, we had multiple choice. Fill in the blank. Now, yes or no? Yes or no? Was the blood and oil placed on the same areas of the person during the cleansing process? Yes or no? Was the blood and oil placed on the same areas of the person during the cleansing process? You should not be asking that question. If you asked me something about areas, I would have been like, yes, because I do kind of have a problem with the way this question is worded, but it's all right. We'll get there. Body parts. Was the blood and oil placed on the same areas of the person during the cleansing process? F. Maureen Allen says yes. Ema Hab'reet says yes. I think I was kind of answering this question before we asked this question. Facebook user says yes. Brother Elgin says no. Right ear, right thumb. Kosota says yes.
Seems to be.
Brother Joshua, he says yes.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know, I was supposed to pick up Brother Joshua this morning, but by the time I was ready to pick him up, he said he was too tired to get out the bed. So he'll see me next week. So ongoing joke I got with the brother. Ongoing joke I got with the brother. Ongoing joke. That's my brother right there. All right. So yes or no, was the blood and oil placed on the same areas of the person during the cleansing process? Only Elgin Barrow says no, the right ear and the right thumb. The answer is yes, Leviticus 14:14 and Leviticus 14:17. Okay, so we're going to read that. How about please put the question back? And the priest shall take of the blood of the guilt offering, Leviticus 14:14, and the priest shall put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. Now we also jump down to, what was that, 17, excuse me. And the rest of the oil that is in his hand shall the priest put upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the blood of the guilt offering. Now, here's my question. Was the blood and oil placed on the same areas of the person during the cleansing process? Explain to me how this is the same area. But you said, well, that area. If I put it on my hand and then I got it on my ears, my ear and my thumb in the same area. Oh, I get it. If I was like this and then I took my foot and put it to the top and put it over. It's not, listen, I'm just trying to tell y'all something. It's the way you put these things. Wait. She just kicked it back to me. She said, that's why she asked me, did I go over the questions? But that's okay. I got what everybody's saying. We will accept yes as the answer. On the right side of the body.
Yes.
We'll take that as an area. Okay. Next question, please. Who informed the priest about leprosy in their home? Who? The leper? Okay. I'm kind of interested in that.
Who else knows?
You're like, wait a second. Who informed the priest?
The homeowner.
The homeowner? To me, that seems like the logical answer. But
He once was here.
To this question.
Okay.
Right. The owner, the leper, Queen Abishua. F. Maureen Allen, the person who lives in the home. So I'm sure Koyaki is going to say we are looking for what the scripture says. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. We got there. Well, yep, Queen Abishua, the owner, the leper. Facebook user says owner of the home. Coach Sotai says the family, the one with the leprosy. And Tahithya says the leper. Okay, so I see I'm going to have to give some people some credit, but the answer is Leviticus 14:35, and that's why I was telling y'all she's looking for some specific terminology. Then he that owns the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, there seems to be, as it were, a plague in the house. So for those of you who said the leper, I don't know. I'm going to give y'all some partial credit, but just because the leprosy was in the house, that doesn't mean the person who's in the house has the leprosy. But I do acknowledge that if you were in the house with the leprosy, that you do have to wash your clothes. All right. So I'm giving some partial credit today, but we looking for some things that make us grow and get a little bit better. All right. F. Maureen Allen, he that owns the home. Oh, Brother Jared, the one with the leprosy. I hope y'all was listening to me. Coach Designee, Leviticus 14:34. That's what we're looking for there. All right. Next question. Before the priest enters the house, what must be done?
They must empty it.
And anybody who says get rid of all your leavening, I'll see you in Torah study. See you in Torah study. Get all that leavening out, and then I could come in and inspect the house. Before the priest enters the house, what must be done?
They have to empty the house.
Very Rukama, empty the house. Anybody else? Before the priest enters the house, what must be done? Either they slow on the trigger or, okay, here we go. F. Maureen Allen, remove all things that are in the house. Queen Abishua says, empty the house. Elgin Barrow says, remove all things in the house. Akosota says, all the leprous items must be removed first. Very technical person here, Akosota. I'm seeing more into your personality. Facebook user, the house must be emptied. Brother Jared, Team Judah, everything is to be removed. Gavera Naama, clear out the house of all belongings. Okay. Answer is Leviticus 14:36. 36 or 35? Oh, yeah, very much. 36. I apologize. 36 says, and the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest goes in to see the plague, that all that is in the house be not made unclean. And afterward, the priest shall go in to see the house. Okay? Next question. Describe the leprosy in the walls. So I want us to remember there's some clear terminology she's looking for here. If it seems to be, it looks like leprosy. Okay, you got the answer. What'd you say? Mold? Okay, that's one thing. Remember, we're trying to get specific terminology. Right? Yellowish, reddish.
Mm-hmm.
Leprosy in the house. Okay. Brother Joshua says, hollow streaks, greenish or reddish, which in sight are lower than the wall. Okay. Facebook user says, greenish or reddish.
Mm-hmm.
F. Maureen Allen says, hollow streaks, greenish or red. Queen Abishua says, hollow streaks, greenish and reddish looking. Destiny Smith gave us the entire quote. The entire quote. She's no joke. She copy and pasting out these. Copy and pasting out these YouTube streets. All right. And he shall look on the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house with hollow streets, greenish or reddish, and the appearance thereof be lower than the wall. She like, y'all got me on the last one. Y'all ain't gonna get me on this one. I got you. Brother Joshua says, copy and paste works wonders. I hear you. Cole Sotai, greenish, reddish depressions on the walls. Cole Asha says, if it's in the walls, depressed spots of dark green or dark red appearing beneath the wall of the surface. Elgin Barrow says, sunken places, greenish or reddish places. Kokawa says, moldy black. And Destiny Smith, yes, that was pretty funny. But we are going to say the answer is what Coke Destiny said, since she copy and pasted it just the way it was. You can put up either her comment or you can put up your answer. Okay. And the answer is Leviticus 14:37. Let's see, I got you. Okay, my fault. I got it. Good, you got it. I'm good. Leviticus 14:37. And he shall look on the plague, and I asked to describe the plague. And behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house where hollow streaks, description, greenish or reddish, and the appearance thereof be lower than the wall. Okay. So it's all of those things, right? 4 things that describe leprosy in the house. Okay. Next question. What is a malignant leprosy? Well, our answer's right there. What? Oh, discussion question. Then she's supposed to put that. Discussion. Don't worry about it. Type it in now. Discussion. What is a malignant leprosy? What does that word malignant mean? Any answers on that? What is a malignant leprosy? So ignorant. Leviticus 14:44. Let's read it. Well, let's read 43 because I think that gives us some insight. Leviticus 14:43. Hallelujah. And if the plague come again and break out in the house, after that the stones have been taken out, and after that the house has been scraped, and after it is plastered, then the priest shall come in and look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the house, it is a malignant leprosy in the house, it is unclean. So, now that we've read that, what is that? Something that overtakes, something that spreads.
Same as fretting.
Something that spreads so much that you probably have to destroy the whole house. Kaveri Rukama? I wasn't sure if I heard you saying something.
No, I was just checking. Is it Mike? Because my book is saying something else. I was looking at my book. Fretting is the same thing that you're saying malignant.
Definitely. Malignant,
Right.
fretting.
Incurable. So
Constantly
malignant. Malignant is incurable.
Huh?
I mean, like serious, like won't go away. Like you said, you have to break down everything if it comes back.
Mm-hmm. So this is just what do you call it? Pesky, right? Right. Beyond repair, beyond your control. Contagious. It's a contagious leprosy in the world. Kosota.
Yeah. Okay.
Koasha says can't be killed.
Let's see.
Killing leprosy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Queen Abishua, ongoing. It's spreading. Elgin Barrow, it's an active leprosy. Malignant, that's kind of that thing like you tried to get rid of it, it came back. And that probably whatever you're going to do is just going to keep coming back and it comes back stronger. So if you think about it, the fact that you removed the stones and you took them to an unclean place, you put new bricks in there, and it still comes back, that lets you know how malignant the leprosy is. There's something happening with that house, and the whole house needs to be destroyed. You got some more things. Brother Elgin says it's an active leprosy. F. Maureen Allen says it's reoccurring. Queen Abishua says it's festering. I like that word. Occult Destiny says it's vicious. Tehila says it's out of control. Gaveret Naama says black mold, the house must come down for the safety of the community. So can Brother Mordecai ask the question, can leprosy be airborne? I'm just going to tell you this. Who knows? We can't say definitively. All we know is when we spot it. But we do know that if you touch it, you can get it on you. You do know it could be on it. Obviously, it could get on your skin. It could get on your clothes. And whatever's happening with it, except for your body, every single time when you have leprosy, like on an inanimate object, they tell you to destroy it. You try to wash it first, and if you can't do it, if it's malignant, then destroy it. Convert me.
It spread more in the house than it seems to be more contagious in the walls.
Mm-hmm.
The person. I mean, there's nothing there that says, you know, if you touch the person that you get leprosy, but the house, the walls and all that stuff.
Well, I don't know if I can agree with that because the person who has leprosy, he has to cover his lip and cry, unclean, unclean, and go outside the camp.
The priest goes in the house.
Well, that's the doctor's the doctor, right? The doctor, when you got something going on with your body, the doctor looks at sick people all day long. But I hope you don't think that the priest is going in there and he's just like uncovered. I'm not saying he got on a whole spacesuit, but he got some stuff on him. But every time when we read about the leper, they always put them outside the camp. Almost every time when you see it. So the thing that I'm telling you is that I hear what you're saying. When you hear about it spreading, you hear it described, you know, very, very much in detail. When it's in the house or if it's in a garment or something like that. When you see it in a person, it's like they're supposed to look on it and see. But the leprosy can spread on your body, right? Some people have it for a spot. Some people get it all. So it kind of depends. But, you know, it's definitely contagious. Is it more contagious in a war? This is the part that comes into my mind. The way the Most High God created our bodies, he caused us to fight off disease. So our body might begin to fight it off, depending on how strong our immune system is and things of that nature. The wall, not so much, right? So it might be that it's been traveling down the wall, but you can't always follow what's happening in your wall. Sometimes you can have water in your wall and you don't know where it's coming from. Right. The pipe leads all throughout the building, but you don't know where it is. You see where the water settles, but it's been running down the whole time, right? So I'm telling us to keep that in mind because as you keep that in mind, what you will see is that the leprosy might have been someplace else. but you removed it everywhere you thought it was, where it was spotted because it came out on the side of the wall. They removed that and all of that, but guess what? It's still happening. And that means it might be go all throughout the walls and all of that. It just hasn't come on the side for you to see it yet. And when that happens, yeah, you got to get rid of it. Got to do something about it.
I'll say something.
Absolutely.
Listening to what you're saying, okay, a couple of years ago, the people downstairs, right? It's like a house, but you have different interests. The people downstairs, our bathroom on the same line. A few years ago, they had mold so bad that they had mushrooms growing out of their walls. They did not tell me about it until it happened the second time. All right. The second time they told me about it. In the meantime, every time I took a shower, it's like I lost my breath, like couldn't breathe, this, that, or either I smell mildew somewhere. I don't see it anywhere, because I keep my bathroom spotless. But, and then, and at time from time to time, I would spray the bleach, but I didn't know that they had that problem downstairs. From what you're saying, since it returned, and it probably will return again.
Mm-hmm.
Is that mold
leprosy?
Yeah.
No. Mold is mold.
It's mold.
Right. And there's a reason why they're describing about the hollow streaks. And if it seems like it's deeper than the surface of it, it can very much look like leprosy. But mold, like I told you, it becomes black and gray, things of that nature when you see it. Now, mold can be green also. Okay. You never know. It may be a thing that as mold sits for a certain amount of time that it can develop into leprosy, right? We don't know. I can't tell you. The priest would have to analyze it and see what it is and then go, okay, yes, that's leprosy. But the thing that I would tell you is that just because you see mold, that does not mean that it's automatically leprous. All right?
But it is airborne, correct? But it is airborne.
Oh yeah, the spores from mold, yes. Definitely airborne, and mold will make you sick.
Definitely.
So this is what Vera Rukam is telling us here, right? She's like, every time she goes, she went to clean herself, but then she comes back, she's like, why do I feel like this? Do not let mold sit in your home. Trust me, you do not want that problem. And I think I told y'all this before. Mold removal is a very, 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 very expensive job. Very expensive job. Mm-hmm. So, Vera Rukam, I'm sorry.
No, fine.
Oh, I thought you had something. Okay, next question. What are some examples of an issue concerning the man? Oh, shucks. Here we go. Here we go. What are some examples of issues concerning a man? So we're talking about the issue that comes forth from a man.
Infectious discharge. Infectious discharge.
An infectious discharge. So I'm going to ask Akoya Yakia since she's here. Are you looking for more than one answer? Okay.
You explained to us earlier.
Yeah, okay. All right. She threw it right back at me. What you explained earlier, Moray, that the question is based on. Okay, all right.
When I first read this chapter, I only thought it was the demon until I read down further. And they had two different, descriptions. I didn't know it was an STI when we discussed it before.
Okay.
So I learned something.
All right, we got some answers going on.
STD.
The Gaveric, Rukama says an STD. The healer. All right, Brother Joshua says a nighty mission. The healer says a wet dream. Coach Sotai says an infectious discharge. Queen Abishua says a running issue. Yeah. F. Maureen Allen says an STI. Kokawa is making jokes over here. Drips, yes. Y'all gotta know Kokawa. Her and Moradina are sisters, and those are two comedians right there. Brother Elgin says uncleanness discharge. Not too many people gonna want to touch this too much, but okay. Let's see what your answer is. Yeah, we're not.
The STIs, I didn't have it written down, what was the STIs?
Okay, so we got the STIs. So there's different things that can make your flesh discharge. Gonorrhea is one of them. Syphilis is another one. Yeah, I'm not gonna let y'all get started over here. These guys online.
Let's go to the next question.
All right. Next question, please. No problem. Question 16. True. Let's go to the weather. True or false? A person is unclean for 7 days if they sit and touch an item of an unclean man. True or false? A person is unclean for 7 days if they sit and touch an item of an unclean man. Right? Vedamita says false. Facebook user to the last question says stopped up. Kokawa, we know that you are serious. We know. Trust us, we know. Okay, Asha says false. Queen Abishua says false. Sotai says false until the evening.
True.
Coach Destiny says false. Brother Elgin says false. Facebook user says false. Tahila says false. And F. Maureen Allen says false. And the answer is false. They're unclean until the even. Leviticus 15, 6 and 7. If you touch the items that the unclean man sat on or touched, right? Okay, next question. How long is a man unclean? How long is a man unclean due to the flow of seed? How long is a man unclean due to the flow of seed? It's a pretty simple question. She took it easy on y'all this week. Coretta Mitza says until the even. Waiting for some people to get on up here. All right. Facebook user says till the evening. Queen Abishua said it would depend. Uh-oh. Tell us why, Queen Abishua. Why would it depend? F. Maureen Allen says till even. Sorry. Where we at here? So, a code designee. He'll need to bathe and then until the even. Akko Asha says until the even. Brother Elgin Barrow says wash and is clean until the even. Akko Sotai says till the even. And the answer is until the even. So Queen Abishua, if the flow of seed goes out from him, then, however it may go out from him, whatever's happening, he's unclean until the evening. All right, next question. True or false? The offerings are the same for the man and women during the cleansing process. True or false? The offerings are the same for the man and for the woman during the cleansing process from uncleanness. So something that I didn't teach today, when the man has the issue of his flesh, there's an offering that goes forth, right? But when he knows a woman, is there an offering that he has to bring? That's not one of your future questions. Oh, okay, good. No, it's not. There's only certain things you have to do that you got to bring an offering for. I want you to keep that in mind. Okay, here we go. Yisrael Shalom says false. Tehillah Yisrael says true. Tehillah, I believe that is a female. I'm reluctant to say ak or akot. So you can verify for us if you heard my question. Are you a brother or sister? Prince Israel says if she goes beyond her time, ... But even if she goes beyond her time, is the offering the same? When the man has the issue, when the woman has the issue, does the woman have to bring an offering if she's within her regular 7 days? It's some part of my lesson this morning. Answer is no. Her regular 7 days, no. But if she goes outside of her 7 days, then yes.
Oh, yeah.
She got to bring it.
Right.
The man, if he has the flow of seed comes out from him, he doesn't have to bring an offering. But if he has that running issue of his flesh, does he have to bring an offering? Absolutely. Right? So Prince Kaz, it says, are the offerings the same? True or false? The offerings are the same for the man and the woman during the cleansing process. Code Designee says true. Okay. Queen Abishua, she says false. Code Tehillah, Code Tehillah, I got it now. It's a female Moray. Told her about, I appreciate that. And she's now changing her answer to false. Code Sotai says false. Facebook user says true. Prince Israel says not sure, I gotta cheat. You ain't gotta cheat. This is an open book test, brother. This is an open book test, right? Kokawa says false. Queen Abishua says true. This had to be the best question you asked all day. I'm like, all right. I'm impressed with the question because I didn't teach it this morning. I didn't go over this part. So, but everybody was supposed to read it. So Queen Abishua is saying true, and the answer is true. 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons. Leviticus 15:15 for the male, Leviticus 15:29 for the female. All right? Very good question. 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons. They got to bring them forth.
And the same day, the 8th day.
And the same day, the 8th day. Next question. Oh, Kodasha, you typed that false before we seen it come through. I know we're gonna see you change your answer to true in a second, right? I got you. All right, no problem. Question 20. Why did the Most High tell Israel to separate themselves from their uncleannesses? Oh, I gave that to y'all earlier. I gave it on a platter. Why? Because I focused. When we got to this point, I focused on this. I was like, why is it? Because you can't what?
What's the question again now?
Why did the Most High tell Israel to separate themselves from their uncleannesses? Let's see what the Koasha did. She put true again. I knew that was going to happen.
Right. You can't be unclean coming into the sanctuary.
Why? He gave a reason. That's for all of y'all who hung out with us until then.
So they won't defile the tabernacle.
Very common says they won't defile the tabernacle. Brother Mordecai is agreeing. Facebook user says, lest they die in their uncleanliness. F. Maureen Allen says, to be able to worship in his holy temple. Occult Tahila says, to avoid contamination. Occult Sotai says, for health, keep the nation healthy. Interesting. Don't forget, we are looking for the answer as it's stated in the portion.
It's 31.
Okay, all right. Code Designee, you ain't ready to copy and paste on us? Brother Joshua, you ain't ready to copy and paste on us? And the answer is Leviticus 15, verse 31, as stated by the Verbal Comma. Thus shall ye separate the children of Israel from their uncleannesses, that they die not in their uncleannesses when they defile my tabernacle that is in the midst of them. Okay? So if Maureen Allen went on to say for holiness, unless they die, Brother Elgin said they may die in uncleanness. No need to apologize to Coach Sotai. You know where we're at like this. Coach Designee says, I'm looking for the answer, Maureen. All right, my bad. I thought you was quick on the draw than that. What's going on? Coach Asha says, least they die not. So her book says. All of that is good. They die not what? Because of their uncleannesses when they defile the tabernacle. All right, we got one more question, or that's it? Okay, that is it. We have some other questions from the chat.
Yes.
Let's get into that before we get into the Passover clash. You ready to clash for Passover? No, it's never a clash. This is actually pretty simple. We make it complex. Okay, question from Brother Tyrone Webb, Hint Magazine. That is my brother Nekemia. Question. Has leprosy been attached to us in other ways? Through the transatlantic slave trade? I think, and my brother Nekemia, if you're online, please type and let me know that you're there. If we got leprosy and slavery, how did we deal with it? Say it. Know what you mean you don't know? You just had it. Like with all the other stuff that was going on with us, right? It wasn't like take the slave to the doctor. It was like either he's strong enough or kill him. So if we had leprosy during slavery and we were around other slaves, was leprosy, if leprosy was present, did it pass on to other slaves and did it change the look of our slaves? Did it affect us as a people? Yes? 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 I'm going to say no. We can't assume what history hasn't stated to us. While I can agree, if one of the slaves got leprosy, you was it. But like with all things, just because ain't no doctor around, I'm not going to be around you. There's still a thing that we kept certain people away. 6 slaves, listen, it's a cruel part of our history, but it's true. They kept you on the out because the other slaves were afraid of getting sick. That's just a true part of our history. So when that happens, do I believe that some slaves could have gotten leprosy? I do believe that. I don't see historical accounts of slaves contracting leprosy or them saying what was going on. Is it a possibility? Absolutely. Absolutely. I just choose not to believe that it happened because I don't have historical accounts of that happening. And I'm not just talking about from mainstream history books. We don't really hear about how, slaves went through this period of leprosy and they didn't know what to do. We do hear about slaves becoming sick. And when they became sick, what they had to do, how they healed themselves, right? But other than that, leprosy, I say no. Now, if there's some history to state otherwise, then I'll adjust my answer. Next question. From a Kodasha. If you have on gloves and remove them is this touching, or does touching mean with bare hands? So I think that's in reference to Leviticus 15, and Nicole Ashe is online. She's been with us throughout this whole question and answer period. It says, if you touch the man who's unclean, you become unclean.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have on gloves and I touch them, then do they become unclean? I think I addressed this earlier, even though I didn't see the question. It doesn't say if you have on gloves, then that what qualifies as touching. Whether you got on gloves or not, what's on your hand defines what you're touching, regardless of what you have on over it. All right. So it can't be a thing that you got gloves on and you touch somebody and just the glove is unclean and you take off the glove and yeah, you're still clean, but just the glove is unclean. It's you touching the person. And we all know what that is. Okay. Concerning removing a dead animal, right? Same thing. When Nadab and Abihu died, the sons of Aharon died, right? They died. They brought the strange fire. The Most High brought a fire out and smote them. They had to carry them out. How did they carry them out? By their tunics, right? But were they unclean? Absolutely. Yes. They did. You're carrying a dead person. It is what it is. How do you know that places and items can become unclean? You can have an unclean valley. It talks about taking the leprosy, the wall of the house that is leprous, knocking it out and taking it to where? An unclean place. So that lets you know. Hey, listen, just so you're carrying it, there's unclean places, there's unclean things. When you bear it, you become unclean also. All right? Especially the dead animal. Now, of course, we're talking about dead, unclean animals, yes? Because if it's a clean animal and I kill it, that does not make me unclean. If I kill it, not that it died of itself, but I kill it. Kill a chicken. I'm about to eat it for dinner, right? I'm clean. That doesn't make me unclean. All right? One more question. And as a reminder, this is the time, brothers and sisters, to ask any of the questions that you have. Then we got a whole half hour, 40 minutes to talk about Right. Coach Siltai says, Coach Yakia, thank you for the great quiz/review. All right. Okay, my brother Isaiah. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Should we have someone inspect after cleaning is done as a representative of the priest's inspection? I'm going to say the answer to that question is an emphatic no. While we're here in captivity, we should not believe that we should have somebody to come who's a priest and inspect our home and see if that's leprosy. One, first things first, we don't really know what leprosy is. Two, even if you identify it as leprosy, right, you should do something about it. But the reality is, right, that you can't follow everything that the priest said to do there, right? Go get 2 ewe lambs, right? Go get the 2 birds, do all this other stuff. Second thing is, if you see that there's leprosy in your home and you determine to be leprosy and you try to destroy that house yourself, even if you purchased it, you will get yourself in trouble. You cannot just destroy houses here. You can't just bulldoze a house. The city is interconnected. Your house is connected with other houses and things of that nature. You for some reason or another, believe that you have leprosy in your home. I'm not saying it can't happen in 2022. I'm telling you, here in America, I don't know how it works in other countries. Here in America, and I'm going to speak for New York City, call the Department of Health immediately. Have them come in. Let them take a look at your home and find out what you want to do. And if you're that uncomfortable, which I can see happening, move. Find someplace else to go. Find out what's going on. But have someone come in and inspect your home. Place it a priest inspection. I wouldn't do that. Leave that alone. All right. Prince Israel, chickens on clean. We gonna have to debate about that another day, brother. But the last time I checked, Prince Cass was Prince Israel. He's a vegan, strict vegan too. So, you know, and he put it in all caps, just so you know. But that's all right. That's my brother right there. You know, we'll debate that another day, my brother, and I love you. You know that. Okay, let's get started. Forbidden foods during Chag Matzot and all that other stuff. All right, this is very much an open conversation, so we're going to get some different things done, all right? All right, what is Chametz? Anybody know? Chametz. Now, but by the way, open up your books. Y'all could go to Exodus, the 12th chapter right now. When you read about Chag Matzot, Exodus 12, Exodus 13. We're going to teach about it. I'm going to teach about it Friday night, right? And we're not going to go over the whole chapter, but there's going to be some things that we got to go through within the chapter. Exodus 12 and 13 are the chapters that will teach you about the Exodus from Egypt and the season of Pesach, season of Chag Matzot. F. Maureen Allen says leavening. She hit the nail on the head. Excuse me, F. Maureen Allen, please let me know if you're a brother or sister. I'm not taking anything for granted, but with the middle name Maureen, I am presuming, right, that it is a female. F. Maureen Allen says it's leavening. But chametz, just so we understand about Hebrew, chametz is leavening that are solids. No, not unleavened bread. It's leavening. Stay there. That are solids. Chometz is leavening that are liquids. Alcohol, beer, wine, vinegar. That's chometz. Leavening, yeast, right? Things of that nature. I hate to say sour cream, right? Things of that nature. You need to know, because there's a lot of people who get caught up in what we're hearing out here is that, oh, Passover actually only has to do with unleavened bread. You're absolutely wrong. It does not work out like that. Passover, F. Maureen Allen, Toda Rabah. I figured as much, but I just wanted to make sure. Quote F. Maureen Allen. Chametz is leavening solids. Chometz is leavening liquids. Matzot is what a koyakia? Unleavened bread. Now you're talking about unleavened bread. Matzot. Now you're saying this is what this is. Now you're confused. Come on.
Because I thought chametz was leavened bread, and the or is the leavened agent.
So or is the liquid as well. See, this is what I want us to understand, and that's what we got to get to. First of all, let me just tell y'all right now, we have broken down Passover so scientifically, we don't know what to do anymore, right? Because it's like, how does this process start? How's the chemical compound did? If it broke down from fermentation from one solid to another simpler soluble solid, right? Right. Let me tell you something. The sa'or and all these other different things, the reason why you have to know the ancient practice of getting leavening to understand what was happening. In order to get leavening, a process must occur. Time must pass in order to get. We're thinking about it in a scientific approach where we can add things to agitate the process, to quicken the process, to make it happen more quickly. When in antiquity, if they wanted to make beer, there was something they had to do to it, right? If they wanted to have sourdough bread, or if they wanted to have bread that rise, they had to knead it a certain way, and then something needed to happen. They had to wait a certain amount of time. And when you read Exodus, the 12th chapter, you see that the Most High God, as a matter of fact, let's go there. Exodus 12, what does it say? For they had to get out of there. 15. Come on. I got a couple of places here, but most of them are in Exodus 12. We'll go into Exodus 12. We'll go into Exodus 13. We'll go into Deuteronomy 16. But Exodus 12 and 15 says, 7 days shall ye eat leavened bread. Howbeit the first day you shall put away the leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. Now, this was obviously talking about a time in the future, right? Why is it obviously a time in the future? Because when all of this happened, what happened? They had to get out their houses. You're like, get the leaven out your houses. It doesn't matter what's happening in that house. I'm not going back. That's us in Egypt. So when this commandment was given, it was given for future generations, for them to know, remove the leaven out of your house. What is the word that they use for unleavened bread there? Matzot. That's what we understand unleavened bread to be. Matzot. But as it goes, as we get down, when it says, for whosoever eats leavened bread, right? It goes on to say, he kal okil chametz, right? Chametz. Matzot is the unleavened bread. Chametz is the leavened bread. That's the leavening. You understand now? That's what's happening there. That's the solid. For whosoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from among their people. Jump down to verse 19. Verse 19 says, 7 days shall there be no leavened food found in your houses. For whosoever eats that which is leavened, that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a sojourner or one that is born in the land. So this is one of those laws that regardless of who you are, you have to observe the law of not eating unleavened bread. That's why we don't allow people to bring leavening into our households, right? That's why we are so circumspect on what we eat this time of the year. So, because we understand that this is one of those instances where you can be cut off from the congregation of Israel for eating leavening during this time. Let's jump down to verse 34. Just so y'all know, I hope y'all got your books out. You are supposed to be highlighting. Make sure you remember these verses. Leviticus. Exodus chapter 12, verse 34. And the people took their dough. Interesting word that they use for dough here. Vayisa ha'am et betzakwo. They took their dough. Terem yikmatz. Before it was leavened. Yikmatz, that's that word chamatz for my Hebrew students who's a little bit advanced. They used that word chamatz and they made it a verb. Chametz is a noun, chometz is a noun, chamatz. Now they made it a verb and they said before it had a chance to do the leavening thing, before it had the opportunity to leaven. They do that in Hebrew all the time. They take a word and they make it a verb to describe what's happening. So if there's a way to make something leaven, how do we make it leaven? Because that's the issue here, right? The reality is we don't know the exact process of how leavening gets started. All we know is we like the bread better, soft than hard. The unleavened bread, that's like some chewy bread, right? It's not like chewy, but you clearly need to break it down harder than your regular bread that has, what happened? The firmer, the dough conditioners, right? And so we have to ask ourselves, what is fermentation? And fermentation is a process that describes the changes that take place when food or liquid breaks down into a simpler substance. It was firm when it first started, but now that now that fermentation took place, now it's easier to break down. That's why your crackers, when it has leavening in it, it's better. your cakes, when it has leavening in it, it's better. It broke it down simpler for us to break it down within our bodies, right? That's actually what we're looking at. Something more. It can happen naturally or it can be accelerated. I said that a little bit earlier, right? Fermentation is a natural process. So when we look at these things, you can get chamates through a natural process and you can get chamates through a chemical process. What are some of the things that we can add to accelerate the fermentation process? I said it earlier. Which one?
Yeast.
Baking soda, something to look out for. Sugar, not necessarily, but yes, when the sugar breaks down, but you got to do something to the sugar, which speaks to Yakia citric acids, right? I had to do some study. What'd you say? I heard you say. Beer. No, what's something you can add to the beer?
Barley.
Ah,
Barley.
barley, not necessarily the barley. The barley doesn't do it, but the hops does do it.
Hops.
Malt. Did I hear that? Malt. Did anybody say yeast yet? I thought I heard you say yeast.
Yeast. That was me.
When I asked you, you didn't say it again. Yeast. Yeast is another thing. Baking powder. These are all things. What's the other one? Baking soda, baking powder, yeast. What did we say? Hops. All of these things. These are all things everybody should be writing down. Look out for in your ingredients.
To the mothers also.
To the mothers.
To the new mothers.
To the new mothers.
What's that called? Mother's milk. There's a lot of teas also that help the production of breast milk that may have hops in it also.
Take a look at your teas. Make sure that there's no hops in there. That it helps with certain teas that help with the production of breast milk. Yeah. Yes? Okay.
And then hops also, beware mothers, if doing that during this time of breastfeeding, that hops is also something that they put in water to help also to stay away from the hops during your breastfeeding.
Stay away from the hops during your breastfeeding. Read your ingredients. It goes back to what Morey is always talking about, right? Read, and read some more. Find out what's in there. Deuteronomy 16:4, so we know our different places. Deuteronomy 16, verse 4. Sometimes you can get microorganisms. Watch your multivitamins.
Yeah.
Talk to y'all about pills in a minute. Watch your probiotics. You know what's going on in there. Right? We're going to get into that yogurt in a second. What's wrong with yogurt? It's dairy.
And it's fermented.
Right. And it's fermented. Deuteronomy 16:4. Hallelujah. And there shall be no leaven seen with thee in all thy borders 7 days. We're going to stop right there. Leave that screen up. No, actually, let me finish it. Neither shall any of the flesh which thou sacrifice the first day at even remain all night until the morning. So there's a couple of things happening there. That's the reason why we burn the lamb until the night, by the time the morning light comes. That's why you have people who say you have to stay all night. But actually, you don't have to stay all night, but I would agree that it was more than likely culturally that as men, when we were down in Jerusalem, and for those women who could make it, it was definitely an all-night type of celebration. Because you're burning that lamb all night. You're doing what you got. Doesn't mean you have to stay up. You could camp out right there with men, right? And you go to sleep, you do what you do, but we're all celebrating. Can't drink your wine, can't drink your alcohol. Is there such a thing as kosher for Passover alcohol?
That's right.
They have it, but should we be drinking it? No, absolutely not. Kosher Passover cakes, we're going to get there for in a second because there is such a thing as an unleavened cake. We read that in our scriptures. So I'm saying that because I want you to make sure that you're paying attention to your yeast. Make sure you pay attention to your bacteria. Make sure that when you read your labels, you're looking for enzymes. Enzymes. If it says in there that there's enzymes, get rid of it. I just read to you about, and there shall be no leaven seen with thee in all thy borders for 7 days. So that's why we should have been working things out of our house for the last, 2 months. Our refrigerator should really start to be looking bare. We should be at a point where we're looking at our refrigerator and we're like, man, I need some groceries. You're like, nah, not really, right? Because what's going on? This is what's happening here. We got to get rid of the leavening until. Now, we talked about some examples. I'll go over them again. Beer, 1, beer is out. Wine, 2, wine is out. Vinegar, vinegar is out. 3, sauerkraut has vinegar, right? What is that, like pickled cabbage or something like that? Out. Yogurt uses enzymes. That's out. Cheese, enzymes. That's out. I cannot verify for you. I did not look into it about vegan cheese and veggie cheese and all that other stuff. You're gonna
It's
have
all a process.
that's out. Well, I'm gonna talk to y'all about processed food in a minute. Talk to y'all about processed food, but check it out. But there's a list that I have here of foods to avoid. Vegan cheese is one of those. All right. Hot sauce and ketchup. You're gonna take my hot sauce from me for 7 days, right? Is there? Did you see what she said? Cayenne pepper and water. Some of y'all take a Scotch bonnet pepper, grind it on up if you need it like that. I said that's Scotch bonnet pepper though. That's fire. I like the taste of it, but once them seeds start going, forget it. You'll be like, man. Crushed pepper depends. You got to look on where you're getting it from. Be careful because the process of them drying foods, you really need to be aware of that. But from what I see, for all intents and purposes, crushed pepper should be okay. All right. Cereal. All right. Cereal is first of all, it's processed foods. I was surprised. I thought y'all was ready for me. Like, that's processed food, Moray. Processed food. But that malted barley, they'll look at the box. It'll say right there, malted barley. Your cereal is out. So for all you men eating cereal out there now and all you kids, finish it up now, all right? Inhale it, right? Your Captain Crunch, wow. Get rid of your cereal, right? Pickled products. I was talking to us the other week about kimchi, right? Kimchi is a good source of probiotics. Trust me, I know. Like working on some things with myself. The kimchi during Kagmatsu, out.
Like sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut, same thing. Pickles, pickled cucumbers, right? That's out. Mustard, that's out. My favorite, Worcestershire sauce, however you say that, right? Worcestershire sauce, that's out. Your General Soul sauce, your General Chocho sauce, right? That's out, child. That stuff. That's out. Maureen Allen is talking about oatmeal. We're gonna get there. My brother Prince Kez says store-bought seasonings are not good for Pesach. They contain preservatives. I agree with you in part. Read, he said, except for Old Bay. He's like, don't get rid of my Old Bay. Read your seasoning. Some seasoning it is what it is. It's organic. You read it, it says black pepper. Ingredients, black pepper. Ingredients, turmeric, right? Don't assume because it's seasoning that it's okay. Read it. I'm gonna get into y'all medicine cabinets in a minute, but I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. I don't know what to tell y'all, sisters, but your nail polish, your lipstick, your face makeup, and all that other stuff. I don't know how y'all do it, but whatever's happening during this time of year, I advise y'all get a lockbox and mail it someplace and hope it's returned to sender by the time Cosmot is over. But a lot is happening in that medicine cabinet. And Gavera Kama, if you have something for us, just let me know at some point. Say, Moray, can I make a statement?
Cool.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
What else? Condiments. Most of your condiments I spoke about, right? Mayo. Can't do that, right? Acids. You really have to be aware of your acids. So from my research, it's not all acids, but it's a lot of them. But in order to err on the side of caution, I would tell you don't do the acids. No citric acid, no ascorbic acid, no, I think there's another one. Lactate acid. Is there another one? I think there was another one. Was it acetate? I'm forgetting that one. To a co-collar's credit, she asked me to put all of this stuff down on a sheet so that I can forward it to y'all. I apologize, I did not do that, but maybe we can get something out. We'll see.
We could use lime, right?
Lime is okay, right? Lemon is okay. I think we look at acid a little bit more so. It's kind of like when we look at fat, right? And we say, oh yeah, it has this amount of fat, but not everything that's described as fat is with the fat in the Tanakh of saying, you can't eat that. So you got to watch, but definitely those acids, lemon is okay, lime is okay, right? I think I told y'all before, mango, which I didn't know was so high in acidity. It's almost to the same level of a pineapple. It's those type of things. Listen. Nice, right one? Let me tell you, I love some mango, but I'm going through some health issues, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what's setting me off. All right, that doesn't mean of all the things that I named to y'all, that doesn't mean that the list stops there. There may be some more. You still have to do your due diligence to make sure what's in your food. Okay, what are some of the things we should be avoiding? Processed meats, avoid it. Sliced turkey, sliced bacon, turkey bacon, beef bacon, yes, right? We do not eat pork bacon, right? What's the other one you just said? Luncheon meat, right? We still eating luncheon meat?
Yeah, that's what.
Luncheon. I understand what she's saying about luncheon meat, though. She's like sandwich meat. That's what people would say. Because luncheon meat, oh my goodness. You'd be like, wow. Cold cuts, yes, that's another term for it. Sodas, avoid them. Out. Gas, the gases that they're using to do it. And it has the acids in it, right? Avoid those. Sourdough is definitely out, right? Sourdough, no matter what, point in the process that it is. Any of the prepared breads, you should not. As an Israelite, I'm telling you right now, you should not be buying bread from anywhere. I don't care what's going on. This is the time of year that you should be making your own bread. Everybody. Now, I do get it. There's some people you're like, Moray, I do not have my own house. I do not have my own stove. I live with people. This is how I have to do it. And in that case, then the crackers that's on sale do suffice. I get it. I do get it. But for those of you, everybody else, absolutely not. Make your own bread. I'm telling you that as a matter of procedure. Make your own bread. This is the time of year. I'm going to talk to us about making bread in a second. Aspirins and pills. I said this about the avoid list. Some people do have to take their medication. I get it, right? However, not the caplets, not the gel caps and all that other stuff, but the tablets, right? Especially your allergy medication, right? Do you know what they use in there? Part of the makeup, baking soda, right? To get that pill form. Get it. Listen, I'm not going to tell you you're automatically wrong. I'm telling you, do your due diligence. Mm-hmm. All right? Keep yourself on the right side with God. Be careful of the pills you use. Be careful of the aspirin you use. And listen, any of us could get a headache at any time, migraine, right? Happens. Cigarettes. Cigarettes. Listen, let me tell y'all something. For those of you smoking cigarettes, I don't know how y'all still doing it in good faith. $16 a pack. Because not only the price, but it got so many toxins in it, mm-hmm. right? But you have to be careful of those chemicals that they're putting in there. So I'm telling you to avoid cigarettes during this time. This is one of the items that I say it's only 7 days. I know there's some people who are highly addicted. I'm telling you to err on the side of caution. Now, for those of you who are using all natural paper and all natural tobacco, and you're like, Moray, I roll my own cigarettes with my own tobacco and this, that, and other, because there's some people who do that. I would tell you, okay, fine. No problem. If you know your stuff is all natural and tobacco, but those ain't the ones killing people anyway. It's the ones that they sell in the store with all the other stuff associated with it. You have to be aware what's happening there. Weed. Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell us this. We're talking about Passover. All right. So marijuana is now legal. And people are taking edibles and things of that nature. So what I'm going to tell you is that you should be careful of what you ingest in your body. If you're dealing with an edible or if you have medical marijuana, if that happens, right? Then obviously somebody somewhere is smiling right now. If you have unleavened products that you use to take your medical marijuana that has been diagnosed to you, then I get it. And it's possible. It is possible. As far as the tobacco, y'all heard what I said about the tobacco earlier. So whatever you're going into, but marijuana is very much a what do you call it? It's very much a natural plant, herb, right? That comes from the earth. So I get it. For those of you who are doing it recreationally, I'm very reluctant to tell you about that it's wrong in the eyesight of the Most High God, and I can't prove it to you in the scriptures. But what I'm going to say is slow down. Just get yourself to that time, right? But, you got to know what you're doing.
Talk to me, bro.
Okay. Is that not? No, listen. I'm telling you this because we're coming up on a certain time of the year. And I don't want to talk about it because it's Shabbat. So, people have come in and asked me about it. They're like, hey, listen, well, now that this time of year is coming, what's okay and what's not? And what I don't want us to be known as is the alcohol drinking, marijuana ingesting congregation. So, there's a way to do all things and everything. That's what I'm going to say there. Go ahead.
And like I was saying, and I'm glad that you broke it down between recreational and medical. Like, the majority of us are recreational. You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I said, it's even for myself. You know what I'm saying? If you can't try to do without, it'll be all right. It's not with those who actually have an issue. Great. You feel me? And even with those who do have an issue, they don't even go in like recreational people. It actually works for their situation that they're having, you know what I'm saying? And they're kind of panned out. So, you want people like that to be all right.
Okay. F. Maureen Allen. A quote F. Maureen Allen says, do not pollute your temple. 7 days is a short time. All right. Be careful of your seasoning. Salt. Use the kosher salt. The iodized salt. Be careful of it. The seasoned salt. Be careful of it. The kosher salt. You can use it, but be careful how much you're using. Right. Them kosher salt crystals, you'd be like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? Right. All right. Pink Himalayan salt, right? They have that. I do believe that is okay. Right? It's all good. Just gonna get another comment. Israel says you can use kosher for Passover matzo if you're not able to make your own bread. If you're not able to, being the pertinent part of that statement. Other than that, let's take a second to talk about making matzo.
Oh.
How complex is it to make matzah? Not at all. But you still got to know what to do. So one year there was a sister, she was asking me, she was like, I don't know how to make this matzah, this, that, and other. Can you tell me how to make matzah? And of course, I'm so ignorant. I'm like, you can't make matzah? I'm like, what are you doing over there, right? She's like, well, I put the flour in the bowl and I pour some water in and I start mixing it around. Then I pour it in the pan. And I was like, oh, okay. So then it occurred to me, listen, everybody doesn't know.
That's right.
And so just because you know, don't, but I was younger and I'm like, oh yeah, everybody knows this. And that's because I had the opportunity to have trial and error. Well, guess what? Now we're going to take the time on the Shabbat to talk about making unleavened bread. And this will be quick. And this does apply to the Shabbat day. Okay. What's the first thing you need? Whole wheat flour. When you get your flour this year, are we using unbleached flour? No. Oh, your kid's like, we're not. No, I'm being funny. She know the brand. King Arthur. I know that one. She's right though. You are going to use whole wheat flour. When you look at your flour, you go to the supermarket, you're going to see ingredients, you're going to see whole wheat flour. It's as simple as this. You put your flour in the bowl, you get yourself a spoon, you get some room temperature water in a cup. We'll get to the seasoning in a minute because I know there's some people who feel some ways about what's going on and how we can season, if we can season our unleavened bread. You're going to make sure you sift your flour to the best of your ability, right? After you sift it, you're not going to dump the whole cup of water in there. Just like when you make a dumpling, right? You're going to sit there and you're going to drop some water in, you're going to move it around and it's going to start making the clusters. And you're going to add water little by little till you finally get yourself a nice round matzah ball, right? And when you have that, you're going to have another plate or something on the side with some more flour on it. And that's going to be able to dust the matzah balls on it. And you're going to be able to pull off from that ball. You're going to take it and you can do one of two things. You can either put it in an oven and let it bake. You can put it in a pan and let it fry. Now,
Dry fry.
Well, now here we go. Right. You can, well, listen, me personally this is what we're doing, right?
Okay.
But now if you got a roller, I ain't mad at technology. It's 2022. Matter of fact, they ain't even got to be technology. In antiquity, they have rolling pins. So all those things. If that's what you're doing, fine. I just ain't trying to get too complex. When I'm ready to eat a piece of matzah, I'm ready to eat a piece of matzah. I do not believe in the 18-second rule.
Right.
I don't believe that you can't add seasoning to your matzah. So if you choose to season your matzah with a little bit of salt, if you choose to season your matzah with a little bit of sugar, if you choose to season your matzah with some cinnamon, sugar, things of that nature, you can do all of those things, right? And you do not, to my brother Mordecai's point, you do not want to have your pan with like this much grease in there. You're not dipping it in there. You just want to coat the bottom of the pan so that the matzah can cook. Now, let me just tell y'all, the thicker your matzah, the longer you're going to be chewing. The thinner your matzah, the crispier it's going to get. So you got to kind of find like that in-between part that's like, all right, thick enough that it has some substance, but it's not too thick and too thin. Now, you might like your matzah thick. I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, if you try to cook it in the pan and it's super thick, by the time you bite it, you're going to get to the center, it's going to be raw. You're going to be eating dough. Not raw as in, raw meat, but it's going to be raw. So you got to understand how to deal with that. All right? But matzah is that simple. That's why I say for us to go out and be buying all these different things, and this should not be the time of year. This is the cultural part for us. Have your own unleavened bread, right? We'll talk about the horseradish in a minute. Get my time, make sure I'm keeping on pace here. And whether that's actually the bitter herb that they talk about, right? Is it a herb and what they describe as a herb and things of that nature? Just so we know, Shomray Hab'reet will be having horseradish this year. So all of y'all who got a cold, come on down. Like, we got it. It clears you out every year. Every year. You're like, oh man, my goodness, right? Good for cancer. Anything that could clear you out immediately like that, trust me, it heals a lot of things, right? So,
Yeah, it does.
Correct. You want to do it, but anytime when that mucus releases, that's the excess every time. So that's what you want. I want y'all to beware of gorging on unleavened products before you go into the day, because your body's still trying to get rid of that stuff as you go. And don't forget, when you eat leaven like that all the time, your body keeps calling for it. So that's why when we get into Cogmato, what do? We start like, man, I want a piece of bread. The first thing we see. But we can't eat out, right? Because they ain't paying attention to our kosher laws and things of that nature. Even if you have Jewish communities, they close down their stores, right? They're cooking themselves. So you're not going to be able to get it. So what are you going to do? That's why I always say, this is not the time of year to travel unless you are keeping people around you. You're traveling someplace where there are other people who can cook and you can eat your food. So what are some of the things? Okay. We're dealing with non-vegetarians first, because I know the vegetarians, they're going to be like, what? You suggesting and blah, 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 blah. You can eat your fresh chicken, fish, goat or lamb. Avoid meat in the can. Avoid fish in the can. Make sure that most of your stuff is fresh, wherever you get it from. If you're buying fresh meat that's packaged already, that's usually how you get it, unless you have a butcher around you. Make sure you read the package that they haven't added anything to it. Most of your stuff is going to be where it's stating organic. They didn't do too much to it. And in that, as they describe it, I want us to understand that, sometimes with those things, you have to be careful. Just because they said it's organic, that doesn't mean it's all right. But that doesn't mean you got to eat a whole chicken. But chicken is okay. Fish is okay. Goat is okay. Lamb is okay. Your vegetables. I do understand that amongst Ashkenazic Jews that they have, and I'm messing this word up, kinio, something like that. I'm messing up the word that it is, that they say that you can't eat rice, you can't eat beans, you can't eat legumes, you can't eat, what's that, ademi? Something like that, right? Edamame, right? Edamame? Okay, that thing. Edamame. That, however you pronounce that. Edamame. Okay, right. All that. You're like, thank you for correcting me. You're like, yo, that whole thing? No. Our vegetables, as long as they're fresh. We do believe in eating corn. We see in the book of Joshua that they ate corn when they came out of the wilderness and they observed Passover when they were entering into the land. So corn is definitely okay. Rice is okay, but let it be brown rice. Your potatoes are definitely okay. And that will probably be your main starch that will stay with you the longest. If you eat those potatoes, trust me, that'll get you to your next part of the day. Especially for those of you like myself who have to carry their food to work with them, your lunch. Because it's not like I go, it's either one of two things. Either I'm going to take my lunch with me or I'm going to wait till I get home to eat. Now, there's some people who are like, I choose this time of year to just eat fresh fruits and vegetables. I don't go into all of the other stuff. What I'm going to tell you is you do have to eat some level. You don't have to gorge, once again, but you do have to eat some level of unleavened bread during this time of year. But if the rest is fruit and vegetables, that'll be great because it'll get the rest of your body moving the way that it needs to move, especially your blood flowing. This is the time of year where you can get yourself on a lot of liquids, a lot of water, right? Be careful of your teas, but the teas that you can have, don't go out and order your tea. Make sure that it's the tea that you can have. Make your own tea. From the teas that you can have, You know, there's a lot of people, they intermittent fast, right? You can drink your teas all day while you're at work. And then when you get home, then you eat your food. I'm going to remind y'all once again, this is not the time for you to be doing overtime and extra days and all that other stuff. For those of you who need your money, I ain't mad at you, but I'm just telling you right now, be careful. So anything fresh, we're avoiding frozen. Avoid frozen cabbage unless you froze it yourself. Avoid frozen vegetables, snow peas, broccoli, kale, spinach, carrots, corn, green beans, all that other stuff. Get your stuff fresh. Are eggs okay during Cobb Matzo? You can eat your egg, right? Oats, oatmeal. Beware of the prepackaged oatmeal. You got to read what's in there. Make your own oatmeal. Are we seeing a familiar theme here? Eat fresh. What else is there? Grits. Well, if Maury Michael is here right now. Grits. He's saying no. Maury Michael would say no. But Maury Yitzhak is saying yes. Yes. It's a grain.
It's a grain.
It is a grain. It's all right.
The whole water process.
Right. Listen, but you know, there's some people, they got their grits, they're looking at it. Beware of your instant grits. Still read what you got in your house. Read it. Right.
All that. Just the extra 5-7 minutes. Just
Correct. Trust me, everything is a rush for us. Okay, hold on. So, Asha, you got a question? We'll get to you in 1 second. Cream of wheat. I'm going to say, what is in there?
It's a hot cereal. It's a wheat.
All I'm going to tell y'all is I don't know the ingredients, so I'm not going to answer the question. But read the box, and according to what you read in the box, that's how you should know what you should and should not be eating. So I'm not sure about cream of wheat. I'm not sure about HO oats. I'm not sure about any of these prepackaged cereals. What about fruit roll-ups? No, right? What's there? Corn syrup, dye, all those different things, right? Anything else? What about cereal bars? No, we should avoid that, right? That's how people been eating in the morning, right? What about granola? Here we go. She was waiting for that one. You got to make your own granola, right? But you got to be careful of the granola that you find in the store because of the Rice Crisps and things of that nature. They do have some leavened products in there, right? Sometimes they put cereal inside of your granola, right? What else? What are some of the other things that we snack on? Can we eat pretzels? What's wrong with pretzels? Yeast,
Popcorn.
right? Popcorn. Can we eat popcorn? Yeah, say it. You know you want to say it. Long as you make your own. If you get the popcorn kernels and you make it that way, whether you use butter or whether you use oil, you know, good oil, right? Then sure, fine. You can have some popcorn. Should you be buying popcorn out of the bag and eating it? Absolutely not. Avoid that, right? Potato chips. Like, come on, Moray. What are we doing right now? I am telling you, make your oven fried potatoes. Potato chips is nothing but potatoes that are thinly sliced and fried. Sometimes they're baked, right? You season them up, and you can season them yourself, right? Mr. Old Bay over here. And from that, you can have your chips. But again, it's 7 days. Listen, y'all can't get me because I'm not a chips person. I'll eat cakes, but I'm like, as y'all talk about Himalayan salt and all that other stuff, let me tell you something. Sometimes that's the best type of stuff. When you make it and you have it hot, and as soon as you bring it out, you season it, let that thing seep in and eat it like that. Not the healthiest thing, but my mouth is watering as I'm speaking about it. I'm like, maybe I need this before Cobb Matzo start, right? Out here throwing out hints and stuff. Here we go. What else is the other thing? Can we eat beans? Yes, you can eat beans. Beans are okay. I'm going to tell you to avoid your beans in the can. But if you're going to use dried beans and things of that nature, then yes, you can definitely you can use that. And I already spoke about corn.
What do they say about parched corn in the book? It says something
It
about
says that's what they talk about in Joshua. I believe that's the 6th chapter. When they came out and they said that they ate parched corn. It makes sense that they ate parched corn, which parched corn is corn that's roasted, right? And the reason why they ate that is because they obviously didn't have ovens yet. They didn't have a place to live, right? They were traveling through the wilderness and the manna was coming down. So they ate the parched corn. They seen what the people of the land had. They ate the parched corn. They rolled it around and roasted it. You ate it. And parched corn is actually pretty good, just so y'all know.
very good.
Here we go. Put some hot sauce on it. You're like, you good to go.
We all eat those, like every part of for our diaspora, whether it's here in America or the Caribbean.
Correct. We've always eaten parched corn, and the work of angels' hands. Shout out to our sister Angel. We be having some like real good corn on the cob, right? All those things good. We know what to do here. You forgot to remind me. Cole Asha had a question. I apologize. Okay, great. Now, can I use canned milk for porridge? I don't know what's inside of canned milk.
Carnation milk,
Yeah, but what's in there? How do they get it to that point? They're doing something different to the milk. So they sweeten it. That's one of the reasons why you like canned milk inside of your porridge. But I don't know. Be careful of your almond milk, oat milk, and all those different things, right?
The xanthium gums and all those kinds of
Xanthium gum, all those different things happening, right? A Kokawa who has made me banana bread on multiple occasions. She's just over here trying to tease me. Kokawa, banana bread for Kag Shavuot, not Kag Matzo. Kag Shavuot. But Kokawa, she does make a good banana bread. Brother Elgin says, someone please give me the name of the right toothpaste to buy for Passover purposes. Now, I heard y'all say about Tom's. My Tom's is good.
I'll say Neem.
Neem.
It's a company, it's a salami company, but it's fluoride free and everything in there. Everything's organic from the turmeric. There's like
organic baking soda?
I'm
being funny. I'm being funny.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Brother Elgin, just so you know, beware of any toothpaste that says sodium bicarbonate. Instead of going to the store and trying to see what they have, I'm going to advise a lot of people, just go to Amazon, order it tonight so that it could be here in time. So you ain't got to be searching all over the place for the right toothpaste to use. Now's the time of year that you switch out your toothbrush, right?
Okay.
Switch your toothbrush out. Get a new toothbrush, right? I understand if you can't afford a new toothbrush. I understand there's different things for different people. And guess what? Boil it, right? Get that stuff off, right? What else is this the time of year for? I'm forgetting a couple of things that after I come down from here, I'm going to be like, Dad, I was supposed to tell them something else. These are things. Gavera Rukami, you had something for us?
Now you're covering everything really nice.
Okay. All right. The soap that you use, the lotion that you use, make sure you read it. Again, look in your cabinets. Listen, there's a difference between alcohol now. Rubbing alcohol is one thing. Drinking alcohol, ethyl alcohol is another. Ethyl alcohol is the one you got to get rid of. So be careful of some of your cough medicines. Some of those things that you have in your cabinet that may have the ethyl alcohol in there. However, your regular alcohol inside of your hygienic products, that's not the case. Read your soap. Really, to keep yourself on the safe side, you should be using liquid soap. Liquid soap has the least amount of ingredients in there. Those bar soaps, I don't know what they be doing or why they do it, but
Mhm.
it is.
So fragrance free. You have a lot of companies that has a lot of organic soaps that don't have any of that weird stuff. And the more fragrance free you can go, the better.
Of course.
Yeah.
So definitely. Be careful of your deodorants. Your deodorants use baking soda sometimes and baking powder. Be careful of your baby powder, right? For those who use it, you have to listen. I'm telling you, you got about a week left. Now's the time. Get to it. Because after you get to Friday, that's it. You go into Shabbat and we're in. Okay, so what happens if you find something leavened in your house after Kagmatso starts? What do? Take it out. You get people asking these questions like, oh, but Moray, I got something in my house and this, that, and another. Take it out your house. Okay. Y'all ready to start getting angry with me?
Perfumes.
Can you leave leavening inside your car? Dag Moray, why we gotta go there? Why we gotta start going there? What we gonna do? Can I leave it in the trunk of my car? Yeah, okay. I'm glad y'all ain't just gonna lie to me. I'm glad y'all not just gonna lie. Listen, I'm just telling you because I got people they ask me questions. They want to know what's going on. Like, Moray, can I leave it in my office?
Give the fresh bottle of barbecue sauce away.
Moray. Can I leave it in my office? Can I give it to my neighbor? Tell my neighbor, yo, hold me down until. I would definitely say giving it to your neighbor is kind of, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that. We got a bunch of no's up in here. Cole Asher, no. F. Marina Allen, no. Brother Elgin, no.
You can't leave it in the car.
No, too. Was that the no to the car? Was that the no to the office, or was that the no to the neighbor?
All of the above.
All of the above. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't know about that car situation. Be like, if I throw it in the garbage, you were like, car's outside. The car's not in the garbage. The car's outside. The garbage can is outside. What are we doing right now? Car is further away from the house than the garbage can, right? But you know, I ain't mad at you. F. Maureen Allen, don't be mad at me next week.
Perfumes. Oils.
Perfume should be all right. Read the ingredients. Your perfume should be all right.
It has alcohol in it, doesn't it?
What about but that's not the alcohol that you drink. That's the regular alcohol.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
What about your creams? Some people have like medicated creams they put on their body, right? Mm-hmm. Cream for eczema. You know what I'm saying? If you got a rash, things of that nature. If you have a young baby, right? What is that? A&D, right?
Right.
We use that. Right. Is that stuff okay? I have no idea. Right, you got that right. Save yet another trip to the doctor, right? Read it. I can't tell you. You're gonna have to read it. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like that I can verify every single item that you have in your home. You have to do your due diligence. However, for an individual such as myself, all right, I want y'all to know that the best we can do is share information. And as we share information, don't forget products change, ingredients and things of that nature. Hopefully that we'll all be prepared for Kagmatso. And that remember, ask the Most High God for forgiveness if you make a mistake. If you find out that something that you have isn't it, listen, just throw it out, get rid of it. I made a mistake and ask the Most High God for forgiveness, but give the Most High God your best effort. That's it there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, and about the water, to make sure you drink the water that you're drinking, Nestle water. As far as I know, that has not changed. Nestle water is not a good water to drink during Kagmatso. It says straight on the bottle, baking soda.
Anything that got Any water?
Essential water is another one. You sure about that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's high quality
Okay.
tap water.
We just happen to have an essential water here with us. This is not a promotion on the Shabbat day. All right.
Purified water.
I do have on my bifocals. However, I need some light. All right. Where's the ingredients at? Ingredients: purified water by reverse osmosis. Golly. Who gave me this bottle?
Laying in the bottom.
Sodium bicarbonate.
That's right. So,
Sodium bicarbonate, second ingredient. So I will be finishing this bottle before we get out of here tonight. And just so y'all know, I got a second bottle also, but don't worry, we will not be handing this out during Kagman. So we will be handing out some Poland spring water.
that's it.
All right.
Or distilled water.
Or distilled water, right? But again, I can't emphasize this enough. Read your ingredients. Okay, everybody? All right, we're going to end out. I do believe our day is upon us. We're going there. I'm going to ask everyone to please hang out with us because I have some very important announcements concerning Kag Matzot, but we are going to end out at this time. So I'm going to ask everyone to please rise and face the east, even as we say our final prayer, and we do even the 136th Psalm and the different things associated with us closing out our Shabbat day. Where is... All right, I'm going to start blaming people again. I'm coming over here. I'm going to come over here. Here we go. All right. Sheesh. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Jehovah God, God of the heavens and God of our forefathers, even the God of Abraham, the God of Yitzchak, and the God of Israel. We come before you to give you thanks and praise for another beautiful Shabbat day, for the beautifulness, for the beauty of brotherhood as well as sisterhood. To come before you and ask you, oh God, that you continue to keep place for us, that we can call upon you most high, your most holy name, and that your whole God, when we come before you next, will be for the season of Kal Matzot, that you might bless this people to prepare our homes, that you might bless this people to understand everything that we need to do concerning the season of Kal Matzot, and that as we come before you, your whole God, that you will bless us in such a way, your whole God, that you would remember that we desire to do this law even in our own land, that we can have a lamb from our own flock, that we could give the offering that you desire for us to give, and that as you do it, you will be proud in us as you were proud in our forefathers. Therefore, I ask that you bless us throughout the week to come, that the things that we've learned this day that we won't forget, but that we might apply to our lives always, that your whole God, as we come forth, we would do as you commanded, that when our children would ask what means this service, that we would come forth and we would say, this is the thing that the Most High God commanded us to do. That we might not forget that the children of Israel left out of Egypt with a high hand, but you brought us out by your strength and by your power, and you allowed us, your whole God, to amass great riches. We call upon you because we realize that you are God and God alone, and that beside you there is no other. Give us the peace and the safety, your whole God, to travel home, even in our journeys this night, in safety and in peace. All glory, all honor, and all praises unto your name now and forevermore. Hallelujah.
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 Well, amen. Oh, give thanks unto Jehovah, for he is good.
His mercy endureth forever.
Oh, give thanks unto the God of gods.
His mercy endureth forever.
Oh, give thanks unto the Lord of lords.
His mercy endureth forever.
To him who alone doeth great wonders.
His mercy endureth forever.
To him that by understanding made the heavens.
His mercy endureth forever.
To him that spread forth the earth above the waters.
His mercy endureth forever.
To him that made great lights.
His mercy endureth forever.
The sun to rule by day.
His mercy endureth forever.
The moon and stars to rule by night.
His mercy endureth forever.
To him that smote Egypt in their firstborn.
His mercy endureth forever.
And brought out Israel from amongst them.
His mercy endureth forever.
With a strong hand and with an outstretched arm.
His mercy endureth forever.
To him who divided the Red Sea in sunder.
His mercy endureth forever.
And made Israel to pass through the midst of it.
His mercy endureth forever.
but overthrew Pharaoh and his hosts in the Red Sea.
His mercy endureth forever.
To him that led his people through the wilderness.
His mercy endureth forever.
To him that smote great kings
His mercy endureth forever.
and slew mighty kings.
His mercy endureth forever.
Sihon, the king of the Amorites.
His mercy endureth forever.
Og, the king of Bashan.
His mercy endureth forever.
And gave their land for a heritage,
His mercy endureth forever.
even a heritage unto Israel his servant,
His mercy endureth forever.
who remembered us in our low estate,
His mercy endureth forever.
and has delivered us from our adversaries,
His mercy endureth forever.
who giveth food to all flesh.
His mercy endureth forever.
Oh, give thanks unto the God of heaven.
His mercy endureth forever.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let our song him breathy way young Libby Lefaneka Yahweh Yahuwah Zuri we go Ali Shema Yisrael Yehovah Eloheinu Yehovah Echad Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto Leolam Ma'ed. Hear, O Yisrael, Yehovah our God, Yehovah is one. Blessed be the name whose glorious kingdom is forever and ever. We call Yisrael Imru. Amen. Why da bear Yehovah El Moshe Lemor? The bear El Aharon El Benar Lemor. Kol Tebaku Beni Yisrael Amor Lehem. And Yehovah spoke unto Moshe, saying, speak unto Aharon and unto his son, saying, on this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel. Ye shall say unto them, Yivareka Yehovah Yishmareka. Ya'ir Yehovah Panal Leka Wikuneka. Yisa Yehovah Panal Leka Weasem Leka Shalom. Yehovah bless thee and keep thee. Yehovah make his face to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yehovah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. We samu et shemi al b'nei Yisrael, we ani avarekem. So shall they put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Brothers and sisters, please be seated for a few moments longer. Please. Okay, first things first, Motai Shabbat Shalom Lakem.
Shabbat Shalom Lakem.
Brothers and sisters, please find it in your heart to donate to Congregation Shomray Hab'reet. For all your tithes, for all your offerings, and all your donations, there is a suggested donation of $25 per person. No amount is too small and no amount is too great. Whatever you find in your heart, if you like what we present to you and you like what we're trying to do, please assist us in all the things that we're trying to do as we build our congregation. For all your tithes, for all your offerings, please donate to us at CashApp, $Shomray Hab'reet, at Zelle 917-804-6420, or at PayPal, ydon7@aol.com. Once again, brothers, brothers and sisters, for all your tithes, for all your offerings, and for all your donations, please donate to us at CashApp, $Shomray Hab'reet, at Zelle 917-804-6420, or at PayPal, YDHN, the number 7, at AOL.com, and may your offerings be seen as righteousness in the sight of God. Okay, brothers and sisters, as we move forward, we've been talking about Passover for 2022. Please listen up closely. As far as Passover 2022 goes, right? Got that in the one you just left from. We will be here Friday night at 7 p.m. Please show up at 7 p.m. Service starts at 8 p.m. All right. Dinner will be served. The lamb has been purchased. We will be having lamb. We will be having chicken. We will be having some potatoes that Brother Mordecai is making. I believe he said he is making at least 6 different potatoes with some type of reduction on it that I was like, I hope this is not leavened, brother. and the Worcestershire sauce, right, all that. But we're going to have a lot of good things. We're going to have some kale out there. It will be vegan friendly also for those who are there. Everybody, please do not bum rush me at the last minute. Moray, I did decide to come. At least let me know if you think you're coming, right? So then I can prepare, all right? But for those of you who are coming, $50 per person, $100 for a family of 4. So 2 or more people up to 4, $100 will be your price. You'll come out. Again, we're not waiting till midnight to eat. You actually will be eating during your service. So, it's not going to be a thing that we're making a whole bunch of noise, but while we're sitting down listening to the service, we will be having dinner. All right? That's Friday evening at 7 o'clock. Service starts at 8 to 12. And then, I don't know what y'all are going to do, but I am going home, right? Service will return the next day at 12 p.m. So those of you who follow us next week, do not expect service to be at 9 a.m. Expect it to be at 12 p.m. We'll have a service from 12 p.m. and then we will probably have our next service from about 6 p.m. So 12 p.m. and then 6 p.m. All right. So let's go through the schedule. 7 o'clock on Friday, 12 p.m. on Saturday, 6 p.m. on Saturday. Okay. That's going to be the schedule for next week. And we will also have lunch cold. No, actually, it doesn't have to be cold, right? All right. So y'all gonna get some hot food next week. All right, then go, because it is the first day of Cogmanto. All right, and we'll be there. So all of that will work. All right, we're gonna have a good feast, y'all. Everything that's happening is looking real good. For those of you, please look at the flyer, 929-420-7467, RSVP there. Once again, you can text me at 929-420-7467. Gavera Sharon, yes, I did get your message. I apologize greatly if you're listening right now. I owe you 15 apologies. And yes, I did get your message and we will speak soon. All right. So 929-420-7467. Give your name and how many people are coming or the names. And please submit your money. You can submit your money by CashApp, which is what I'm missing from the flyer. You can submit your money by CashApp or by Zelle. What you want to do is put in the notes for CashApp or Zelle for Passover. Just put Passover 2022. All right? And then we'll be good to go from there. Any questions here or online concerning Passover and what we're doing? Okay, next announcement. Hebrew class with Moradina. Every Tuesday, we're still having it this Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Moradina is there faithfully. Go over reading, vocabulary, writing, conversation, and weekly Torah reading prep from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday nights, which is Yom Shalishi. The Zoom ID is below, and the password is guidance. All right. Next announcement. Step Up Academy, in conjunction with Design House of Israel Temple, my brother Morey Micaiah and his wife, Colt Tracy. They give stories from the Tanakh, Old Testament stories for children, every Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. They do it on site in Barbados and online via Zoom. You have the Zoom information below. Please support them. Next announcement. Hymn Magazine, the Passover issue is coming soon. Everybody, I think we're way past the deadline. The deadline was March 31st, and today is what, April 8th? So look out for that Passover issue coming. I know Kosota said she made a submission. Gavera Rukama, she made a submission. I made a submission. So let's support my brother Nekemia. Let's all purchase a digital issue. Let's support our own, okay? Next announcement. Gavera Zarita, Ima Zarita, excuse me, In the Bosom of the Seventh Seal. That book is still on sale, Book Baby, and on Amazon. Please support her in her book. And yes, I did purchase a book. Next announcement. Put the food pantry up. Let's talk about it for a second. So the food pantry did happen on Yom Kamishi, which passed. We don't know our next food pantry date. I want to thank everybody that came out to help Beit Shalom for their food pantry. I want to thank everybody that came out to support Shomray Hab'reet for our food pantry. Let's make sure we keep going out there. Remember, this is food for the community. We got our Passover delivery. So I do believe that Beit Shalom is handing out some more food tomorrow. Abbreviated, but I do think they're giving out some more stuff tomorrow. Oh, yeah? Oh, okay. So I got one message, but I'll take back about giving out the food because I don't want to send people over there and they're like, hey. But if they I'm sure they need people to help them clean. So if you find it in your heart, please help them go clean as they prepare for Chag Matzot. All right? Do y'all got extra matzot over there? Boxes? No? Oh, she don't want to give that information. I got you. You're not sure.
I've heard they have, but I haven't seen them, but they have matzah.
Okay. So those of you who are looking for matzah, give them a call. There's a Donya Rowe's number at the bottom of that flyer. And you can find out if you could get some matzot. Okay, anybody else? Okay, so that's it for our flyers. Everybody is basically preparing for Chag Matzot. I'm going to tell everybody to please have a blessed holy season. To my brother Elgin Barrow, I appreciate you. As always, another great gathering of the children of Israel, a beautiful message. Toda Yah. And everyone have a beautiful and blessed week. Toda, my brother. Called Destiny, Toda Yehovah, for another wonderful Shabbat to glorify your mighty name, which is the Most High God. Toda Rabbi Morey. Okay, amen. Wonderful teaching. I appreciate that. Toda as well to my dear sister, Kot Yakia, and Gaveret Rukama. May the Most High bless and keep all of us this upcoming week. And to Kot F. Maureen Allen, the message today was great. Praise Yah, Baruch Hashem family. Thank you, Morey, for the amplification of Yah's word. Means a lot. Every time y'all tell me these things, it means a lot. So I'm glad that y'all appreciate what's going on. My brother Jared, I will see you Friday night, brother. I appreciate you, and I'll see you for Passover. Gaveret Rukama, did you have any announcements?
Yes.
Okay.
I won't go through all of the books, but I do have 3 books on. They're advertising on Amazon. 3 books. Tunnel Vision. Segments of Love, Lust, Conflicts, and Romance, and Exaltation to the Almighty. Those 3 they are advertising at this moment. But if you want books directly from me, you can contact me at my number 347-266-9062 or ruhamapoetess.com on my website. Okay. And I thank you so much for the support, Morey. Really great.
And the bar. Listen, You're giving us that poetry every week.
Yeah.
I got to get your number back in here. But,
Next week, during the Passover section, I have every intentions of doing the poem I wrote for you.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, I
Sounds
want to
good.
do that.
Sounds
You
good.
have a rough draft, so it'll be a little bit more extended when you hear it again.
Not a problem by me. So I want to remind everyone is this, as she says that, remember, parking is not the greatest around here. So please get here on time. You might be circling, right? Find yourself a spot. When you come into Shomray Hab'reet, we are located on the left-hand side. You go down the steps, and as long as you stay along the wall to your left and you come back up, you will definitely find us. Everyone who RSVPs, please leave your email if you need instructions, all right? All right, everyone, for our last one, we thank you once again for joining Congregation Shomray Hab'reet. May the Most High God continue to bless you all, and everyone, please have a blessed night. Multi Shabbat Shalom account.
Shabbat Shalom.